the Swedish clubs, the traditional Swedish clubs, are well known for a certain style of football and a certain approach to football. And I think there's been a tranche of Swedish managers that have gone through their top division and worked there for a long period of time. And I think perhaps over the last year or so, there's been a bit of a sea change towards younger coaches and trying to inject some fresher thinking into it. I think there's a lot of respect for English coaches there, a lot of respect for English football. They follow the Premier League, of course. But as much as they respect us, I think we need to respect them as well, because when I speak to some people in England about Swedish football, some people think it's Mickey Mouse and don't know too much about it. You know, Sweden have just come out of a World Cup qualification group with the Netherlands and France, and then they've just beaten Italy in a two-legged playoff. I think if England had done that, we'd all be pretty happy about what we'd achieved. So I think Swedish football's in a good place. I think there's some excellent clubs, coaches, players, teams operating over there. I think there's a healthy respect for English coaches, and that's largely due to the historic influence of Hodgson and others, Bob Houghton, and of course Graham Potter's success now. I first came across Graham when I was working with Scottish universities football and he was working with English universities football. And we played against each other. England won, but we had a good discussion then. And he, as a similar age coach who'd been through the education system around a similar time, we kind of knew each other a little bit. I was aware that obviously he took the job in Sweden. And then when I got the offer of the job in Sweden in the summer, I called him. Somewhat out of the blue, I suppose, but the fact that we knew each other and we'd worked against each other helped. And he gave me some good advice. He didn't go as far as saying take the job, but he was very positive about the level of football. What can I learn from him? I think, listen, it's really tough comparing yourself to others because every context, every situation is different. What I can say is I think what he's achieved there is absolutely magnificent. He has a very supportive owner. He has the keys to the club essentially, in that he's been able to shape and mould the club so that it is basically now Graham Potter FC. And that's a great thing for a manager, because if more managers were given that opportunity, I'm sure you'd get more stories like Östersund. But unfortunately, some owners want to pull the flowers up to see if the roots are still growing. And Graham's been lucky in one respect that he's had the time to build what he's built, but every credit to him because he's done a fantastic job. I think he deserves all the success that's going to come his way.